Hey guys, Madison here. I am newly married and we want to start a YouTube channel because we're going to be using this platform as a Christ-centered resource. So I wanted to share with you, whoever that is that's listening, my testimony to let you know that the Lord works in anyone's heart, and we're all broken and all have our own stories. But the Lord is so good, and I'll just start from the beginning, and we'll go back to how I was raised. I was raised in a Catholic home, so I went to a Catholic church for religious education and all the way up through confirmation. And then after that, I never went to church on my own. I didn't practice myself. Practice as in pray or go to church, anything like that. And then later on through high school, I would say the end of sophomore year was really when I started taking a downward turn spiral. It wasn't good. I had been in sports. I'd been pretty studious, but one thing led to another, and it was parties, it was not being studious anymore, not getting homework done, skipping classes, things like that. And I got to a really low point after high school, not knowing what I wanted to do career-wise, and then being in relationship after a relationship, seeking something that I felt was an emptiness in my heart for love, and trying to find it in relationships. It was just a very empty feeling. And then I ended up moving to North Carolina for 3 years. Again, because I didn't know what I wanted to do career-wise. I was in a relationship, so I wanted a new venture. So I took off for North Carolina at the age of 20, I believe. I'm 26 now. And towards the end of that 3-year period in North Carolina, I had started listening or watching Sunday service from a church back home in Iowa where I grew up. I had started praying to God, especially when I was in low points, not knowing what to do or feeling like just no control. I found myself praying to God, hoping He was hearing me, asking Him to direct me, lead me where He wants me to go. Eventually that relationship ended that I was in, and I moved back home to Iowa. I was in the process of finishing my certification for personal training at the very same time, because I fell in love with fitness. I think it was a sort of self-fulfillment. Fell in love when I was in North Carolina trying to escape bad moments. I'd run to exercise and things like that, which can also be super unhealthy, but that's what I was doing. So I found that interest and pursued certification in personal training. So when I moved back to Iowa, I was finishing up school, put my application online, and a chiropractic company from the same area reached out and said, "Hey, we found your resume online. Come in for an interview if you're still looking for this personal training position." So I went for my interview, got hired the next day or two, and the first week that I started training in the chiropractic gym, it was actually the very first shift, I believe. I had a client come in, and he was finishing his workout, very first training session we had together, and he asked me if I go to church, and I told him I don't go to church. I pray to God, and I have my own relationship with God. and he said, "What's your relationship like with Jesus? Do you have a relationship with Christ?" And I sat in that question, like, do I have a relationship with Christ? Do I know Christ? It almost didn't click with me, but I wanted to know more. Sorry about that, my camera died. So Gary invited me over to his house, and him and his wife shared the gospel with me. And that was the first time I had ever heard it. I had ever heard the good news. I was walking a path toward eternal death, not knowing, realizing that I was a sinner. I was walking that path, that destructive path that someday I would have to, meet the judgment of God and not know who Christ was. But that wasn't his plan for me. Trusting in Christ is the main point, and realizing you're a sinner, repenting, believing in Jesus. So I'm not sure who's going to hear this message, but I hope that it speaks to you. If you haven't put your faith in Christ, I'm praying for you. I'm praying that the Lord is working in your heart. If you have any questions for me, please reach out. Don't hesitate. I'm starting this channel with my husband, who the Lord has also brought me. He's brought me a great, godly man, and I'll introduce him to you guys here soon. If there are topics that you have for me, for the two of us, please let us know. Give this video a like, subscribe to our channel so that you can see when we post new stuff as well. I'm really excited, and even though we've maybe never met, I love you. All right, have a great day. Bye.